Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach from DCTcentre, and also I'm through speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, and co-creator, Galactic ambassador from Pleiadian. And with me today is two lovely ladies, Morganne Rayne and Jeannie Rayne. Morganne Rayne is spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to higher dimensions of being. Morganne has been called the healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morganne is here to serve those who seek great understanding of their sacred spiritual self and have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. And Jeannie Rayne, licensed psychotherapist in state of Washington, working primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients empower themselves. Jeannie sees herself as lifetime student of growth. She continually takes classes to enhance her knowledge base. Hello, 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 dear, my wonderful, lovely ladies. Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning and afternoon and evening, wherever you are.
For me, good evening. For you, good morning. How you been?
Jeannie, but how about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. Yeah, I'm feeling the shift.
It's better than feeling the shit.
Yeah,
I think actually, Jeannie, you just say something what we need really say hello from Galactic Federation because I think not only us, I must definitely feel the shift. It's not coincidence. The last week I thought the Wednesday is Thursday and vice versa. I do not remember days. I do not remember times. I sometimes feel like I've been in Thursday for weeks and weeks, or sometimes I feel another day I've been for weeks and weeks, and sometimes all weeks fly and I have no idea, no memory what's going on. Somebody asked me what you done and I have no memory of it. Yeah. So for me as well, I really feel this uh, speeding up, and that's exactly what Galactics want me
Yep.
to.
Yep. And I'm glad that you're going to do that because, I'll talk about what happened with me with the codes. I think that's probably going to interface pretty well.
I'm absolutely sure of that. So please, I again apologize. English is not my first language, so uh, hopefully you will understand what I read.
Well, let's do this. I invite everyone to just get centered into themselves and just kind of breathe in and open your heart and open your mind to receiving what is here for you. Take a breath in and just let yourself be that open, receptive place of receiving these words, this consciousness, this awareness, and allow yourself to simply receive that which is yours. Okay, Dega, go.
Okay. A divine plan is unfolding. One that will not and cannot be stopped, interfered with, or adjusted to suit concepts of how it should look or unfold. What you are witnessing at this time is only beginning. First steps are necessary for a world in which the majority remains aligned with the past and old energy. The events and actions taking place at this time are catalysts serving to push increasingly more people into thinking for themselves, taking a hard look at what they have always accepted without questioning, and pushing them towards personal empowerment. Throughout lifetimes, humans have been told what was best for them, what was right and wrong, and consequences of ignoring it. The majority believed that and continue to believe now that they are not capable of figuring these things out for themselves. You cannot really imagine all that is coming because you have no reference point of it. Let go of any three-dimensional concepts you may hold about ascension process and understand the present times are serving to push the and unawakened majority into thinking for themselves and question the old game of follow the leader. Your job as spiritually involved individuals is to trust, actually, really trust that a divine plan is unfolding and bringing with it much more than present appearances would have you believe. All of the process, trust and believe in this process, for it must be process. Do not focus on all information being pushed at you from every direction. Silently and secretly rest always in one power, presence, and reality, and note that by doing this you are adding life to collective, which is what you come to do. Earth is an idea in divine mind, a good creation just as spiritual and perfect as every expression of divine consciousness. You are the earth. You are every animal. You are the trees, flowers, grass, water, air, and earth. And what is done to this spiritual expression is done to all, for there is only one. Spiritual evolution eventually brings every person to point at which they must begin to live the truth they know, recognizing self and all others as being God individualized. Some of you may be guided to become involved in out activities, bringing light to places of turmoil, while others of you will be guided simply to stay quiet and hold light for the world as you go about your day. Trust your intuition and not the opinions of others. Whatever the circumstances you may find yourself in this time, never forget that you are divine being of earth's love resonance at this time to learn, clear old energy, spiritually expand and shift to a higher state of consciousness, while at the same time helping Earth and others to do the same. The absolute truth about you and everyone else is that you are God, divine consciousness individualized. Long ago, the master teacher Jesus said, I and the Father are one. But most of the time, and even now, to this meant only Jesus was one with God. He, as well as many other evolved spiritual teachers, have for a very long time been trying to tell humans that I is the name of God, the soul and true identity of every person. Time is speeding up now very rapidly, and you may feel symptoms of ascension increasing right now. There is a pulsing and higher frequencies that are recalibrating you to new resonance. Ascension symptoms feel much stronger at the moment. Head pressure, air ringing, jaw clench, tightness, sleeplessness at night, glitches in time. This electric feelings is part of the major upgrades we are shifting through. Many of you are shifting in frequency so fast you are no longer able to vibrate with those around you. Notice your triggers. Allow them to teach you how to ditch and let go. You're not alone. You have plenty of help of the higher realms. Trust in divine plan and wisdom. Affirmation you can use is I embrace the flow of life with trust and grace. I am open to transformation, knowing the only universe supports me highest good. So I try read another time. I embrace the flow of life with trust and grace. I am open for transformation, knowing the universe supports my highest good. We salute you. We are with you. We are Galactic Federation of Light. Oh, so that's the message. I speak I speak quite a lot today, so what's your thoughts on that, Morganne and Jeannie?
Jeannie, you want to go first?
Sure. Actually, I don't have a clear thought right now.
Okay, then I'll go for it. I was giving you an opportunity because it might not stop. There's so much. Yeah, that's some pure accurate, and is matching what comes through for me to what you read, what you received. We are in an accelerated expansion, transformation, movement. You know, I think about this going back into like the 1980s when I was starting to really bring consciousness and awareness and work with what was happening even back then, of bringing in this awareness of what was coming and preparing myself and helping others prepare themselves consciously so that they could be prepared for this time. This is the time, which is, so exciting, right? And it's interesting. And I'll tell, I told Dega about what happened a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, it was when I was house and critter sitting for friends of mine, and this was during the snow. And the one of the dogs did not like to go out in the snow at all. The other one loved it, but one did not. So I would have to take it out and just wait for the dog to get comfortable and go out in the snow and do what it needed to do. While I was standing there I was standing on a deck looking out at the animals out in the snow. I'm standing under an eave, and the eave is like there's drips. I really don't know why there were drips because it was freezing outside and there was snow everywhere and ice. But here's some drips coming down, and my eyes just kind of all of a sudden fixated on the drips. I don't think they were drips at all. They may have been drips, but it was something that stimulated. And what started happening is all of a sudden these code streams started running fast, fast, fast. They were just code streams, and some I could pick out. Some were just like going so fast. And then I realized, oh my God, I think I'm being downloaded here with something that, and it's happened to me before where I've gotten huge downloads like that, and I had no idea what they were for. That just like, but I don't resist them. So here comes these streams, and they are this really, I was telling Dega, it was like this green color, but it's like an otherworldly color green I've never seen before. But here they come, they're just scrolling down. And then last night I was dreaming about them. It was like, and I woke up and I went, oh my God, here they are. They need my attention. I mean, like that was like, whoa, okay. So I just started just being present to them. And in being present to them, some of them began to reveal themselves to me. One of them, it was specifically for an issue that I have, which is great because I'd like to heal that, right? So I started working with that code this morning. So being open for the unexpected of what's going to happen, especially those who are spiritually sensitive and attuned, be be ready, because it's coming in fast and furious. Things like seeing codes, those codes will be used for healing. Already, I'm getting meditations that are being downloaded into me using the codes. Not ready to use that today, I don't think. Maybe I am. I don't know. Who knows? It shows up the way it shows up. But using these codes. So I took notes while you were talking, Vega, and a couple of things that really stood out for me was when you were talking about people beginning to think for themselves. And like it just like it was kind of like one of the codes. Dega, you went away. I don't know where you went, but we just don't see your picture here. So thinking for themselves, and that like stood way out. It was kind of like the codes coming down for me. It was like all of a sudden, okay, people to begin thinking for themselves. Well, that makes so much sense because we've been programmed to think how someone else, something else, somebody's agenda trying to move. Marketing is one of the craziest mind manipulations. If you look at marketing of products, right? You like it puts your brain and your mind into thinking what they want you to think. So when you said thinking for yourself, so I tapped in for that and I got a code for that. I'll give you the code later. And then the other thing you were talking about was I didn't catch them all because you were going pretty fast. But the other one that really struck out to me was harmony. Oh, no, you're talking about forgiveness. Is that what you were talking about? Or is that my agenda? That might be my agenda.
That's your agenda. That wasn't about
Okay.
forgiveness.
So
That
for
was about
yeah.
changing to stop listening to gurus, to stop listening to somebody in charge. Don't put anyone higher than you, really.
Absolutely. So now I know why I wrote this one. Thank you for that clarity. This is about when we're having what guidance was telling me was forgiveness and resolution with conflict with others. And so I'm like, well, why that? Why that? Well, when someone's trying to program you, trying to give you what they want you to think and how they want you to be and what they want you to do. I mean, you see it. I mean, you just go in the outer realm, right? Which I call that 3D realm. You can see that all day long about how people are being told what to do. And then they're trying to tell you how to do, how to think, how to be, it's like, okay, so where I see now the forgiveness is because that creates a conflict within yourself. When you're being told something other than what is authentic and true for you, right? There becomes a conflict, and it becomes a conflict with others. Which is counterintuitive to healing, right? When we move into conflict with others, especially the ones that are telling, it's kind of like what this is reminding me of is Jesus on the cross when he looks down and the people who are persecuting him, and he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And so that forgiveness element, if we don't bring that forgiveness element into this, when we're looking at healing, the ability to be programmed, the ability, so there's a mechanism in us that, wants to believe it, wants to, get on board. When we have that group think, that ego mind. I had a teacher one time, his name was Sir George Trevelyan. Talk about a magnificent human being. He was old when that was 30, 40 years ago that I know he's got got to be gone. I think he is for sure. But he talked about the group ego, the group think. And you really see that in the world, especially if you look into the world of politics, right? One side wants you to think this way, one side wants you to think this way, like there's this energetic pull on humans about our own thought. It's like, what if we put all that down and began to think for self? What would happen if we began to think for self? So now I know why guidance gave this formula to me. Yeah. And then I wrote down, I embrace the flow of life. So I think you said that.
There was about embrace whatever at the moment is coming, not stay on don't expect anything, don't look at 3D world expectations, because we have no idea, we don't have reference point what's coming.
Okay, so any comments on what I was talking about here with where I'm thinking?
For me, that resonates true, that we should never follow an authority figure unless it resonates with us. Just because they're an authority figure doesn't mean that they're accurate, and they could have they could not be a good person. And so we always want to make sure it resonates with us first. And if it's accurate, not like we just don't go blindly believing what somebody says.
Yeah.
And
which requires you to really check in on what you really believe.
Right, exactly. And groupthink is very dangerous. When somebody says something, you just go along because they're saying it, and they may be an authority figure. You think they know better. It's not. In your gut, in your soul, what's true.
Yeah, and I think it's time for people to put down groupthink, but that's going to require. Oh, I'm checking in. Yeah, it's going to require a bunch of work for that, right? Because so people are. Well, you think about even the school systems, they don't allow you to think anymore. They want you to memorize whatever they're giving you, right? So they're giving you a prescriptive of thought and say, and you can pass everything if you have memorized that and are able to regurgitate what it is they gave you, right? But what about if you were in school and they encouraged you thinking and problems solving? And go ahead, Jeannie.
There are schools that are going that way and are really good. That critical thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But mostly the government, I call them government schools. Some people call them public schools. I call them government schools because any government that's in power has power to cut off funding from schools if they don't teach certain things.
Right. Same with the medical field,
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot has been cut off from the medical field. They can only practice in certain ways.
Yeah, and even in the psychotherapy field, I watched a little podcast with this one interviewer was asking different psychotherapists about their rate of curing patients. You know how many were cured?
How many?
None.
Wow.
Everyone they interviewed, no one had been cured. Cured was not in the vocabulary.
Right. Well, think about this too. In anybody's work, there's like, I know for myself, I have, layers and layers of stuff, and layers and layers have been cured, but I still have layers and layers. And so it's like, I mean, that's kind of a general question. How many have been cured? I mean, no one's going to walk away and be cured forever. You know, there's going to be something that comes up. So I'm not really sure what that means.
In the psychotherapy realm.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what that means because I can't understand that, you know, because I'm in that field and I can't understand. I know I've helped people, you know, like they've changed, you know, but, you know, they're always going to, you know, just like me and everybody else, they're always going to have things that come up to work on.
Yep.
So
It's
I
true.
don't know. I don't know how.
And we work on them in different levels.
Right.
Right. I want to read today's, I know I did this last week, and this is a daily meditations for practicing the course, which is the Course in Miracles. Everybody knows on this show that I teach it. I love it. I think it is an incredible technology that was given to us so that we can get to that place of thinking for ourselves, practicing forgiveness, being in the flow of life. It really is a great technology for all of that. So today's reading on February 20th is forgiveness. How appropriate. To forgive is to know love. Holding a grudge is so commonplace that we do it unconsciously. We imagine getting even for the smallest infractions. Why is this so important to us? Well, there's only one reason. We live too often from the ego's perspective rather than the Holy Spirit's. And the ego can't perceive love in its many guises or the appeal for healing and help. The Holy Spirit performs that miracle for us. How do we go from holding a grudge to feeling forgiveness? The path is always the same. We can make this simple request. Holy Spirit, please help me feel and see only love. Making the request as often as necessary is the key to forgiveness. There is no preferred timeline. Some days we'll make the journey to peacefulness quickly and efficiently. At other times, we'll have to change our minds repeatedly. That happened to me yesterday, by the way. I had to change my mind repeatedly because there was someone that kept popping up that I could think of all kinds of ways to get back at that person. Now, this was an infraction that happened 30 some years ago. It's still there. Okay, let me go on. It doesn't matter how long it takes us to really know forgiveness. Once we do, nothing will ever look quite the same again. Nothing will ever feel quite the same either. And the affirmative for this is, I will reap the benefit of letting go of grudges and forgiving others today. And I'm not surprised, knowing we live in a synchronous universe, that this was what was up today, given what I was working on yesterday, which allowed me to have the dream I had last night. It all works together, right? So yesterday, I had to go up near Canada yesterday, and on the way back, well, I got triggered up there of something, and I just said, okay, well, there it is. I got a little trigger there. I'll work on that, right? So I get in my car, and now I'm going somewhere else to go help someone else in a place called Mount Vernon. So I'm driving there, and all of a sudden, and I honest to God, have not ever even thought of this for so many years, because I just, again, that's like what Jeannie was saying, we heal at one level, right? But then here comes another, right? And there had been an attorney that instead of delivering a summons to me, delivered a summons, and he knew this. he delivered it to a place where I had moved from before. Right. So then when the court date comes, I'm not in court to defend myself because I never received a summons. So now I'm charged. I'm charged, right? And 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 so I never had the opportunity to say, well, this isn't true. I had no opportunity. But he did that deliberately, right? So fine, right? It messed things up for me for a little while. So that came up yesterday. And then all of a sudden, I started scheming ways I could get back at it rather than asking for forgiveness. I had some wonderful schemes, right? How I could just like mess him up for the rest of his life. And then that still small voice. Well, you could choose again. And so it's like when you practice being, and it is a practice, it's an intentional practice of moving into the Holy Spirit, moving into the Holy, bringing that awareness within you that the Holy Spirit's there. So when the ego, that was all ego yesterday, that scheming and planning how I was going to ruin this human's life, like he ruined mine, right? Retribution. I caught it, right? I couldn't go there because now the Holy Spirit energy, the love, the forgiveness is coming forward, right? And it's like, I don't have to know how that's going to work for me. And it's not, and this has nothing to do with that person, right? This is all me, right? I'm the one who chose to suffer. I'm the one who held it. It was present there for me. It was my divine opportunity to forgive that situation. Just forgive it. And I did that work. So that was my ride home. I'm doing all this forgiveness work on my ride home. And last night, my sleep was like so, I felt so comatose in a way. Like it was like I was so asleep. And then that dream came. And it's just like all these codes started coming in, like what I was seeing under the eave in the rain. All of a sudden, now the codes are coming in again. Not all of them, a few of them. And the main one was on forgiveness. So there's a forgiveness code. And then I pulled one called focus and clear thinking out of what Daga was saying. So when we are committed to our healing, when we're committed to releasing all of those, I'd even say that the ego are corrupted codes, right? They're like corrupted codes that, and they like, because they vibrate at a particular frequency, it's to bring back the sacredness of the numbers, to bring back, recognize, not bring back, that's wrong, to recognize the sacredness, not bring back. It's already there. It's just to recognize the sacredness within these numerical codes. A long time ago, I would say God is mathematical. God's just math, right? And geometry, and and all those beautiful things. So when we are committed to override that ego with love and forgiveness and being present in the Holy Spirit, then when things like this occur, because that could have taken me down. I mean, like I even knew how to access some of those schemes I was planning on this guy, it's crazy, right? And then I just go, oh no, because what I do to that person, guess what? I do to me. So if I choose to love and forgive that person, guess what? I do that to me. I love and forgive me. I can't do to another that it won't affect me, that it won't be mine. So that technology of forgiveness is so powerful. It's so amazing, and it should be like we in class on Sunday we did that beautiful Ho'oponopono forgiveness technique. I call it the crucifixion technique, but it's got components of Ho'oponopono. It's got Course in Miracles in it. It's got just Morganne showing up, right? It's got all those elements for healing. And then this morning, after I got all them codes, I got a new meditation that I want to do on Sunday in class. I'm not going to do it here today, but utilizing the codes as well in that. So I'll just keep listening into what Spirit wants from me. Do we all get codes? I don't know. Maybe we do, and we don't recognize it. But anyway, so I love what you read, Daga. I love what was given to you by the Galactics. It's so right on. Our world is changing. And, I think about, well, why am I, why do I do? I have a friend of mine that says, Morganne, people just don't step into the world and go, I'm going to teach forgiveness, right? I go, yeah, I know. It's mission. It's a mission now. I think it's always been a mission, but unless I practice that and I embody that and I emulate that, nobody's going to get it. So it's being the presence of that forgiveness, practicing it, teaching it, helping others achieve it, so that we can get to what Dago was talking about, what that incoming was. We need to be the receptacles of that energy, so that we can then be the transmitters of that energy, right? So it comes in and it goes out like that Torah: receive and transmit, receive, transmit, receive, all over and over again. And then we become, and whatever we're receiving, if we're receiving our own authentic thing. Okay, just think about this. Okay, if we're receiving our own authentic thinking, if we can tap into that, and not our ego, but that authentic thinking up in those higher levels of frequency that we often talk about in the map of consciousness, if we can tap into that and bring that in and become that energetic of receiving those beautiful thoughts, being them, transmitting them, and just being a toroid of that energy, we are going to move into that, what Dago was talking about, easily and effortlessly. The many prophecies of this time, the golden age. Many people have heard that, right? This is the golden age, but we're bringing it in. We're doing it because of what we're doing right here. We're doing that because we're not letting the ego go make schemes on how to get back at people. We're doing it because we're choosing those higher frequencies. We're choosing love. We're choosing a consciousness for us to ride that beautiful wave of consciousness, so that we're not victims, slaves. I'm going back to that thinking for ourselves. We're not the weakened mind that latches on to other people's thinking and thoughts. We're a strong, convicted mind of love and peace and joy and goodness and bliss for everybody, right? So I hope that made sense.
It does make sense. It does make sense. And I think we all at the moment have to choose, because I've been reading some other articles that we have to choose at the moment. Is last times really to choose which side you're going, because there is really, this vibration is too high. Yeah. Like I've been saying, reading this, the vibration is too high, that we cannot anymore be and see and vibrate in same way how ordinary 3D negative people are vibrating. We really have to same as now I having downloads, same as when you speaking with some clients. I don't know how low you have to lower your frequency when you speak to your clients, yeah. But I now feel that I have to lower my frequency. Think about every word what I'm saying, yeah, to actually speak same language as my clients are speaking. Yeah, to not tell them about I'm seeing coats coming in front of me, and they just sorry I changed my therapist now. Yeah, to actually be able to speak at the level like 3D level, because already my mind sees. I perfectly understand what you're talking about, those codes, because I am seeing, I don't know, I recognize the codes, but I see many times in meditations, I see sort of everything. If used to be in meditation, uh, like slow, I can see visions, I can see uh, like slow movement things, yeah. Then now I see fast movements. Even in meditations, I'm see fast movements. Some pieces, yeah, fast. Everything very fast, yeah. And we have to choose now, because it's it won't be possible in a month's time. There won't be possibility anymore to catch up with others who is moving in this. At
I mean,
least,
can you imagine if I had decided that I was going to choose to go down that retribution path? Who would I be this morning?
yeah,
Yeah. I don't choose that. I don't choose that life. I don't choose that. I'm going to continually choose love. And you know, and last night, like I just, when I was coming home, I was going, okay, bring it all up. Every one of those little things that, you know, where someone did me wrong song, right? Um, bring them all up. Just bring it all up. I want to forgive it all. Bring them up. Right. And a couple of nuggets came up, right? But choosing to love. And it's like, I love this. To forgive is to know love. To forgive is to know love. And that's really what we want, is to love and be loved. Um, yeah. And I love the affirmation, I will reap the benefit of letting go of grudges and forgiving others today. You know, just like holding on to a grudge, holding on to a pain, holding on to a suffering. Okay, well, you're gonna vibrate at that frequency, and you're gonna reap the rewards of that. But when we decide to love and forgive and know peace and harmony and joy for all of them, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And that's true. Yesterday, in uh, that that mental exercise I had of scheming and planning this man's total career demise, right? Um, forgive me for even, but that's the ego. That's what the ego does. It plans, it schemes, it seeks retribution. It or it makes you a victim, right? That's a victim too, but you could be a victim in a couple of ways, right? You can just de-evolve and become nothingness. right? Miserable, unhappy, depressed. That's victimhood too. Anyway,
Time for meditation. Best part of the show.
yep. I just want to just check in with Jeannie. Jeannie, you got any addition to that? You got any thoughts about that before we do that?
Well, we talked about unconditional love at some point, and I'm wondering, can you reach unconditional love with this man?
Well, I'll keep working on that. Right? It's it's like in layers, right? It's the awareness of what's going on. It's awareness of the ego took over yesterday, right? First, I need to reach unconditional love for myself. I need to be the receptacle of that unconditional love. And then when that is reached, then I can offer from my frequency of unconditional love for this person, right? But I first must do it for self. Otherwise, you're giving, oh yeah, I'm going to give you unconditional love. I hate you, but want you to suffer, right? That isn't it, right? That's like the ego putting a bandage on something. I want it to be real and true and deep, and the only way that can be is to offer. And I did. Oh man, I was doing the crucifixion thing so long last night. Just I was having fun with it actually, because you build up that energy of forgiveness within you, and then you just want to start forgiving everyone and everything, and it's so powerful. So can I get to unconditional love with this man? Yes, as soon as I reach unconditional love for myself.
Okay.
Did that answer your question, Jeannie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, so let's practice some forgiveness. How about that? All right. Oh, beloveds. So first of all, let's just take a breath together, because that's always such a good thing to bring in our energy. Breathe in that breath and let go of the breath. Bring your awareness, consciousness to this present moment. And I'm going to invite you to think of a person or an event where there is still within you some unforgiveness, where you may have been harmed physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Wherever there's been a harm to you with someone that perpetrated that, I'd like for you to just bring up one thing, and it doesn't have to be the biggest thing of all. It can be a little thing. Bring it up. And as you bring it up, I want you to notice, what does that thought, that old memory, how does that feel inside of you? And maybe you can locate a spot where you're feeling it. And if so, go there. And feel all that energy of what happened. It's not happening now, but it happened, and it's still stored in you. The feeling, the fear, it's stored in you. Take a breath in. And that feeling and that fear affect you in many ways, in your thought patterns, in how you feel, your health. And as you become familiar again with this feeling that's coming forward about what happened, I want you to gather that energy right there, just wherever it's located, we're going to bring that to the heart chakra, because through the heart chakra is like a portal. And so bring your awareness to that heart chakra, bringing all that energy of that unforgiveness, that event, that harm, and just bring it all up to the heart chakra. This will not harm you. This is going to be for your benefit. And take a breath in as you bring all that energy up to your heart chakra. And as you bring that energy to your heart chakra, I want you to visualize that beautiful color green that the heart is. That's the color of the heart chakra. Green is also associated with healing and life and vibrancy. This is the very wick of life. Take a breath in. Feel into that heart chakra present with the issue that you have brought before the heart chakra. And on your heart chakra, we're going to place a numeric code on your heart chakra. And that numeric code is a series of 3 numbers. The first number is 33. So if you can visualize 33 at your heart chakra, and next to that, 45. And next to that, 10101. And the whole sequence is 33, 45, 10101. And just mentally place that over your heart, or just know that the frequency of that number system, that code, that's a code, is right there in your heart. Clearing, cleaning, purifying your heart. And as you have done this, bring that issue that you have brought up to the heart level and allow it now to just be brought into the heart chakra, the whole energy of it, how you felt, what was happening in your body, the thoughts that accompany the unforgivingness. Just allow the heart chakra now to just absorb it all. Take a breath in while you do it. And I'm holding my breath as I do that, holding it in. And on the out breath, visually feel and sense that whole energy changing. Now go back to the energy at your heart chakra. And the heart chakra itself that's already been encoded. The color beautiful green. And again, place the issue within the heart chakra and take a breath in. And allow the energy of the code, the green, the heart, and hold that breath in. Sensing and feeling again the cleaning, the clearing, the purifying. And breath out. And relax. Now, visualize or attempt to visualize the issue and how it used to make you feel, and just check in. Is there true forgiveness for this person, this event? Just sense in and feel. This is our experiment today. This is our intention today. To be a consciousness of pure forgiveness. And then I'd also invite you to bring up any areas where you have not forgiven yourself. And you may not even know what they are. It doesn't matter. Just ask for Holy Spirit to bring forward all the areas where you have not forgiven yourself. And with the breath, place it into that encoded heart of forgiveness with that beautiful color green. Breathe it in. All the places where you have not forgiven yourself. And on the out breath, say thank you. And just find a natural rhythm of your breath. Trusting and knowing that the forgiveness is already happening within your own mind and your thought. Just calming that ego mind down and allowing the Christ mind to become dominant within you. Take a breath in. That Christ mind, which is love and compassion and forgiveness and wholeness, the ability and the capacity to change your sight, change your mind. Oh, and my dear ones, I'm going to leave you there with that thought. The Holy Spirit with the capacity to change your thoughts, change your mind, move you into your own authentic thinking, and let it become strong in you and dominant within you. And as we do this, the programmers of the world that want you for any of their purposes to buy from them, speak for them, whatever, will just roll off of you, will just come at you and roll off of you because it does not have a place to land. So as we come into our own divine alignment with our own Christ mind, with a heart that is absolutely programmed for forgiveness, just allow the energy of this whole meditation to follow you all day long and check in on what you're thinking and how you're feeling. And so it is with great love that we bless you with this information here this day as we are rapidly moving into this, what has been termed the golden age, which is the age of love and goodness and joy and peace for everyone. Everyone. And we give thanks that we are here to be those bridges to that consciousness, to that awareness, that we can lift others up with our own consciousness of love and peace and the Christed mind. And so it is with great love we leave you here. And so it is.
Whew. Jeannie, do you have something to say?
Thank you. It was great today. Thanks for everyone who's listening, and look forward to next week.
Thank you, Morganne. I don't know how you've been feeling, but I felt very strong this code on me, completely changed energy on me at that moment. Did you feel the same very strong energy, Ginny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this code very strong energy. So thank you everybody who watching. Thank you who will be watching. Please remember like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube video channel and Rumble channel. Also, I invite everybody who wants real information and know more through and get in more rabbit holes. I would invite you to please go on my Telegram channel. So Telegram is the one which one uh, doesn't have any, what I wanted to say. They do not censor information, so you can put up all information you want and it's not censored. So there you can find lots of information from different rabbit holes. And also I will put up there this transmission what I get from Galactic today as well. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week and God bless.